data observatory, as to say. We have also a very powerful common studies program that at the moment comprises different bachelor degrees that are joint bachelor degrees between the 4 universities. And we have this program of internationalization, which together with the help of one official and government agency that is in charge of presenting and introducing Spain in the whole world. We have this program of internationalization aimed to establish good relationships between the 4 universities and other universities in different regions of the world where individual partnership are not very strong. So we have started with Namibia today, and we went, as I said, last year to visit Namibian universities, and also we went to Botswana. So today we are started this second important session. That means that we are now not only institutionally interested in knowing each other, but also we start with the fellows, colleagues in different areas of research and teaching that can be interested in exchanging expertise and establishing collaborations with the 2 Namibian universities, the University of Namibia and the University Namibia of Technology. So we welcome our colleagues, Dr. Shivoro from UNAM. Dr. Shivoro, welcome to this session, and the Professor Segobi, Dean of the Faculty of Human Science of NUST. Of National Namibian University of Science and Technology, as I said. Okay, so as Gloria said, we are going to present each of the universities. We will do each university, and then at the end we will have some questions if you wish. Then later on, our guest institutions, UNAM, so Dr. Shivoro and Professor Segobi will present UNAM and NUST, and then we will have some other questions. Then our technical expert in the Erasmus Plus program that we can we have been granted the KA107 Erasmus Plus program will be presented by Dr. Bilova, who's our Alliance International Project Manager. And then, as you know, the participants are registered in different thematic areas, so they will be invited to join the different rooms to exchange ideas and possibilities of collaboration with the partner colleagues, so the partner university colleagues. So I thank you, everybody. I thank everybody for being here today, and I hope that this virtual session, that of course is not as warm and as interesting, because you would be visiting the campuses and the places and the cities in which we are located, but I'm sure that we will make the most out of this wonderful day. So welcome everybody, thank you very much, and I give the floor to Well, I haven't said that I am the vice rector of one of the 4 universities that is introducing this, not because I have been chosen, but because we share we have the presidency every year. I think we change or every year and a half. I can't remember the timing, but we change presidencies. So at this time, Universidad Autónoma of Madrid is having the presidency, and that's why I am welcoming you. Okay, so let me then give the floor to Professor Marius Martinez, who's the Vice Rector for International Relations of the Universidad Autónoma of Barcelona. Okay, so Marius, whenever you want. Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you very much, Carmela. Good morning, everybody. First of all, a warm welcome to our friends in Namibia in this virtual day. It's a pity that you are not able to be in Spain with us, because we were so fortunate 1 year ago to visit your wonderful country. I still have in my office some tiny objects which give me nice memories of your country and which remind me the great time we spent in Namibia, in Windhoek. These were purchased in the craft market in Windhoek. Well, thank you very much for giving me the opportunity of explaining you a little bit more about my university. I will share some slides. I'll promise not to bother you with many figures, but I would like to underline some key features that characterizes my university. And later on, I'm sure that we will be able to explore possibilities of collaboration. So let me share my screen. So, as Carmela said, I'm the Vice Rector for International Relations at the Autonomous University of Barcelona, who was born in 1968, the same as Universidad Autónoma de Madrid. We are, as the other universities in this alliance, campuses of international excellence, which is a recognition to our commitment and our work in international settings. We are the biggest university in the alliance. We have more than 26,000 students, more than 1,600 master and PhD students, and more than 3,500 teaching staff. We are very well positioned in rankings, as you all know, which happens also to the other universities in our alliance. We have quite a big commitment in international offer. So we have many subjects taught in English, and we have international degree programs, and this attracts every year more than 10,000 international students and more than 280 international researchers. More than 1/3 of our international, of our PhD students are international ones. We are a comprehensive university, research intensive, so we cover almost all fields of knowledge. Something's happening now. Yeah. So through these more than 100 degrees and 270 master degrees and 68 PhD programs, we cover almost all field of knowledge, as I was saying, and we have quite a big number of PhD students, and we deliver quite a strong number of theses every year. So we are in between 700 and 1,000 theses delivered yearly. We also have international Erasmus Mundus programs. We have 7 programs in different areas, in economics, in public policy, in photonics, in children's literature, or in vaccinology, or other health areas. We also develop many European research programs, as more than 150 projects of this type, and more than 600 research agreements signed last year. Concerning projects, important projects, we have 20 ERC grants, in which UAB coordinates a couple of them under this framework program on research from the European Commission, Horizon 2020, which is going to finish this year. And we have more than 4,700 indexed articles published in journals, and more than 48 patents claimed. We also organize what we call the cores, which are strategic networks of research covering different areas of interdisciplinary interest, we have one of these strategic communities of research in cultural heritage and digital humanities, another one in mental health, another one in smart and sustainable cities, and finally we launched a couple of years ago the strategic alliance on education and employability. This enables various groups of research in our university to promote joint research projects and to share knowledge on these wide areas of interdisciplinary interest. Let me mention in our internationalization strategy, of course, the belonging and the activities that we developed jointly with the other 3 universities in the Alianza for 4 Universidades. But let me mention that all these 4 universities belonging to the Alliance belong also to this European strategy called European Universities. In my case, we belong to ECIU University, which is a joint initiative by 12 European universities to build this so-called European university. And this is enabling us to develop many interesting innovations, not only in teaching, but also in research and in innovation as well. We also have many other strategies on promoting internationalization, such as the Barcelona Summer School. I will refer to that later on, and many other projects such as the Study Abroad project or the faculty-led programs or joint and double degrees, and our policy on international languages and international networks. ECIU University is one of the most challenging initiatives that our universities are facing for the next 10 years. The project lasts 3 years with European financing, but it will last for long because we are trying to build truly European networks of universities and let me say, a European joint university with many shared programs and with innovation, as I said, in teaching, in knowledge transfer, and in research, promoting not only physical, but also virtual mobility and many other activities. These are the 12 universities. I'm not going to refer to them. You will have these slides, so you will be able to check this information later on. Our summer school is coming to the 6th edition. We have been promoting it for the last 6 years. It has been a very successful program. We have had more than 300 international students and from more than 28 nationalities. We have also this study abroad program in 3 different options. We have selected courses from our bachelor degrees, but also we have pre-established courses, or we can even organize tailor-made courses according to the needs of our partners. We have many languages on campus because we have a faculty of humanities, I have a faculty on translation and interpreting, but we also have our own language service, which deliver courses in many international languages. We have many also double and joint degrees with different countries, with Canada, with France, with China, with Hong Kong, with Russia, and we have many inter-university programs with some European and not European countries. And we belong to, as well as the Alianza 4 Universidades, we belong to ECIU, which is this network through which we are developing our European university. We also belong to YERN, which is a network, a wider network of young research European universities. Of course, we belong to Universia, which is a strategy promoted to strengthen the links with Latin America, and we belong to the European University Association. And that's all from my side. Thank you very much for your attention, and we hope that we will be able to build fruitful relations with all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Vice Rector Martinez. Thank you very much, Marius. So I give the floor to Matilde Delgado, who is the director of the head of International Relations and Mobility Service here at Autonomous University of Madrid. She's my close collaborator, of course, and I give the floor to her to present our university. Thank you very much. Matilde, whenever you want.
Well, good morning, everyone. I would like to welcome virtually to Spain, to Madrid, and to Universidad Autónoma de Madrid, UAM. Please let me briefly introduce my university. Universidad Autónoma de Madrid, UAM, is a public institution internationally renowned for the quality of its teaching and research. Created in 1968, we just celebrate our 50th anniversary. Talking about learning at UAM, we are a comprehensive university, and we got 66 departments and 8 faculty or schools. The Faculty of Science, Humanities and Arts, sorry. Faculties of Science, sorry, Humanities and Art, Faculty of Teacher Training and Education, Economics and Business Study, Law, Medicine, Psychology, and the School of Engineering. In this slide, you can see the main figures of UAM community, the number of students and the number of staff. Most of our academic staff have exclusive dedication at the university. The quality of our degree is supported by more than 3,000 students. Nearly 4,000 of them are international students. What to study in our university? In our university, we do offer 51 undergraduate programs, 120 master and PhD programs, and nearly 250 other type of programs like diplomas, short courses, professional training, and so on. With a strong commitment to internationalization, which is consolidated every year, we offer at the time 15 international double or multiple programs, 5 Erasmus Mundus programs, as well as courses taught in English. We got 2 campuses. The main one, Canto Blanco campus, is a really green campus. Over there, we do offer different facilities for teaching, sport, hall of residence, and so on. The campus is really easily reached by public transport system like train, buses, and also by car, and even by bicycle. In the other campus, we got the medicine faculty. Is just downtown Madrid in the city, beside the La Paz University Hospital, which is considered the first public hospital in Spain. And over there in the campus of medicine, we do offer 4 bachelor degree in medicine, nursing, nutrition, and biochemistry. Also 4 master degrees and 6 PhD programs, having 4 teaching units in 4 public hospitals in Madrid. But also we are offering courses online in different platforms to more than 200,000 students for more than 100 different countries. As you can see in this slide, this is the UIM budget from the period from 2010 to 2019. As I told you before, we are a public university, and our main source of finance incomes is the Madrid regional government, Comunidad de Madrid. Talking about research and innovation, UIM is a reference in research. The main areas of scientific research are nanoscience and material science, life sciences, biotechnology, biomedicine and food science, theoretical physics and mathematics, law, humanity, and social science. An early and increasingly vigorous vocation of UIM has been to establish a strong and deeply partnership with the CSIC, the Spanish Scientific Research Council, the main institution dedicated to scientific research in Spain, carrying out together an innovative research policies for more than 30 years. In 2010, both institutions were awarded with the Campus of Excellence level. Here you can see the objectives of this Campus of Excellence. Our campus is a green space of research and innovation, a node of knowledge. UIM hosts altogether more than 40 research institutes or centers. Some of these research institutes are mixed, UIM C6, like this one here. Others belong only to C6, but they are in our campus. And others belong only to the university, to UIM. We also got the Madrid Institute for Advanced Studies, MIA. It's a research institute in humanities and social sciences. In these two slides, you can see the main figures of UIM participation in the European Research Program Horizon 2020. And also the number of our scientific prediction. Talking about transfer and innovation, we are devoted to the dissemination of research results, not only to student education, but also to the society as a whole. We truly believe that knowledge transfer is the best tool to both social and economic development. We hope this wide and global research and innovation area will contribute to our African partners institution by sharing research infrastructures. As you may see here in these next slides, UIM is also very well positioned at the international ranking, and we are considered one of the first Spanish universities. Talking about internationalization, UIM is also and clearly internationally oriented. Our focus on collaboration partnership with the institution is not merely aimed at achieving student and staff exchange and mobility, but mainly for the development of common specific projects for education and research improvement. Our alliance spans from culturally and geographically closer Latin America or North Africa countries to distant East Asia or Sub-Saharan Africa. We have more than 500 university worldwide agreements signed with. We do also offer a study abroad program. In addition, UIM is part of several university alliances. As examples, you may see here in the slide, A4U, the alliance that we are working together today, JERUM, the Young European Research University Network, the Northern Mediterranean Transnational Campus, and CIBIS. UIM and several other major universities, European universities, have recently sealed an alliance to launch the CIBIS project to the new European University Action in the framework of the Erasmus program. CIBIS is one of the 17 pilot projects founded in the first call of the European Universities Initiative. The Mediterranean area and Africa will be the core of the CIBIS project's global strategy. Regarding international exchange, UIM have more than 3,000 mobility students every year and a high number of staff mobility. Most of this mobility take place in Europe in the framework of the Erasmus program, but we also are doing exchange with universities worldwide, some of them in Africa. For example, in the Erasmus Key Action 107, In our last project, we have more than 100 mobilities available with 8 countries, and most of them in the Mediterranean area, like at the north of Africa, like Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia, Egypt, Lebanon, and Jordan. And finally, in the Key Action 2 of the Erasmus program, we are participating in several projects in different actions: Knowledge and Alliance, Strategic Association, Capacity Buildings, and Jean Monnet. And some of them in Africa, like the Jean Monnet Network Amenet, with 6 European universities and 7 African universities in Morocco, Mauritania, Senegal, Cabo Verde, Ghana, and Congo. And the Capacity Building Project Auditum with 5 European universities and 6 European from Morocco. Building collaboration with African partners will certainly reinforce UIM strengths. We firmly believe that the future of Europe and Africa region is interconnected. And finally, talking about social commitment, social responsibility. Our identity is rooted in a strong social commitment through specific actions and structures that have evolved since UIM creation 50 years ago. UIM is an institution that looks toward the future, offering its students a way of integral work that combines quality teaching, intensive research, and professional improvement with a commitment to sustainability, diversity, and full inclusion. UIM attracts, at least in some files, a number of outstanding, talented, and socially engaged students. All our activities are based on values cultivated along decades. The pride to be public, to be research-oriented, to have a clear social commitment, to be sustainable, healthy, and concerned with the continuous improvement of quality and education. It doesn't work, I don't know why. Sorry, last slide, it was just to introduce Madrid City, the capital of Spain. And in the, let me see, I can be able, it doesn't work. Here we are. Madrid, the capital of Spain, in the geographical center of the country. It's a vibrant and lively city. Please let me know you about the food and the drink, the art and the culture. And last but not least, for sure, the 2 of the world's best football team in action, Real Madrid and Athletic Madrid. Well, thank you so much for your attention.
Okay, thank you very much, Matilde, to be in peace with our sister city and our sister universities. Barcelona hosts also one of the best teams, football teams, soccer teams, Barcelona Football Club, no? Football Club Barcelona, El Barça. So we and although we have different views on soccer, still we are good friends. Okay, thank you very much, Matilde. I will give without any delay the floor to the delegate. The delegate of the Rector for Internationalization of Universidad Carlos III of Madrid, Professor Lourdes Rubio Ruiz-Aguirre. She's the Deputy Vice Rector for Internationalization and European University and Mobility Programs, as I say, in the UC3M University. Whenever you want, Lourdes. Thank you very much.
Good morning to everyone. Thank you very much for the opportunity to get in touch with our colleagues of the Namibian University. Unfortunately, I was not able to go last year to the visit, so I'm very happy for this opportunity at the moment, and also to see all my colleagues, our colleagues for the U4 Alliance. Well, I'm going to, I hope I will be brief doing this presentation of my university, Carlos III University of Madrid. I don't know if this works. Yeah. Is it working?
Is Lourdes, but maybe if you can put it in a full screen, maybe
yeah,
it will work better. Because
now, I think
okay,
now.
that's great.
Okay, that's great.
Perfect.
Thank you. Okay, so Universidad Carlos III is a public university, and we are very committed to research and high quality teaching. We were created in 1989, so 31 years of age. We are quite young, I think, and we are one of the 43 universities in Spain. Well, let me start with some figures. We have a number of students that are around 17,000 students and undergraduate students, and around 5,000 graduate students. The staff in general is around 5,000. Of them, 2,000 are academic staff. As Matilde have said before, we are located in the region of Madrid, that is in the center of Spain, and Carlos III have 4 campuses. The first one, where the university was created 31 years ago, was Getafe campus, where at the moment we have the Faculty of Social Science and Law, and also Humanities, Communication, Journalism, and also Library Science. It is 10 kilometers far from Madrid downtown. Then a few years later, a campus of Leganés was created, where the Faculty of Engineering is located. Then we have a small campus, which is located in this northwest of Madrid region. Is the Colmenarejo campus, where some studies on social sciences and law and also engineering are taught. And the last campus that was created a few years ago is Madrid Puerta de Toledo, which is the campus for the master programs, mainly master programs, and is located in Madrid downtown, in the south part of Madrid downtown. So we are in 4 campuses. Let's go to academic programs. Well, in Carlos III, we offer undergraduate and master studies, both in English and Spanish, and in some of them we give the bilingual option, mainly in social sciences, humanities, and engineering. Carlos III is the Spanish university with the largest percentage of teaching in English. Around 70% of the degrees are taught or can be studied in English or in a bilingual option. Something that has characterized us from the beginning has been the practical classes that we conducted in laboratories, computer classrooms, stages, and also radio stations and core rooms. And also from the beginning, we have complemented the studies in our university with a catalog of humanities courses and also sports and cultural activities. Just to say something about the graduate schools, we have 4 graduate schools where we offer 110 master programs and 19 PhD programs. In these graduate schools, 29% of the graduate programs are taught also in bilingual or offered in English. And most of them are taught in Madrid Puerta de Toledo, the campus Madrid Puerta de Toledo, as I have mentioned previously. 10 or 15 years ago, we start a strategy, a very strong strategy on digital education, and we are part of, we are support by platform like EDS and Miriadax, and also we are part of the consortium OpenCourseware promoted by the MIT. We offer in this way some MOOCs and SPOCs every year. About facilities, we have 5 libraries in the different campus that not only provide the material for the study of our students, but also they provide support to research activities, to the supports the digital edition of scientific publications, and help in the preparation of teaching of materials in the MOOCs and SPOCs that we have, as I said, very, very strong commitment. We offer to our students that are not from Madrid, we offer 3 halls of residence located 2 in Getafe and 1 in Leganés campuses. We have in Leganés an auditorium that is one of the biggest in Madrid. I think it's the second. We can have inside 2,000 people, so it's one of the best, the biggest one in Madrid. And also we have sports centers, not only for the students but also for the staff, where we have gym, also spa, and swimming pools, and where we can do our range of activities, sport activities. One thing that we are very proud of is our employability. More than 90% of our students, graduates, alumni, find work in a job related to their field of studies during the first year after graduation. And we are very well situated in the social, in the ratios of in the ranking of the Spanish Social Security membership, being 77 points above the Spanish average. In this sense, we have plenty of cooperation agreements, more than 3,000 agreements signed with companies, not only national, but also international, in different sectors like Banco de Santander, Airbus, Siemens, Accenture, Deloitte, and many others that give employment to our students. Let's get into in some points in research. In our university, we are 132 research groups and 27 research institutes about engineering, humanities, communication, law, economics, social science, and mathematics and physics. And we were awarded in many years ago, in 2009, of an international excellent campus by the ministry, which allow us to be more to have more interest, you know, in research. Also, we have another, let's say it's a campus, it's not academic campus, but it's like a campus, it's the scientific park that is somewhere between Getafe and Leganés campuses, where we have a business incubator with 26 firms, and where we manage the investigation of the I+D. We manage the I+D of the university. Talking about internationalization, we have encouraged our staff and our students to be more international, and we have promoted this by the Church of Excellence that started in 2008, which is an alliance with Banco de Santander in order to attract professors, very good professors in different fields, to come to the university and stay with us for 3 or 6 months, or even for a year, and to collaborate with our researchers. From there, 126 professors have come to the university from Stanford, Oxford, Singapore, MIT, and many other universities in 23 countries. And in order to attract doctors to our university, we have the program Connects, in which 28 researchers from 15 countries have joined the departments for 3 years in order to collaborate as well with our researchers, our departments, our groups of investigation, to grow together, both the researcher and the departments of the university. Talking about the students, almost 20% of our students are foreign students, not only exchange students, but also foreign students that come to our university to study from the whole of their studies, their degrees or the masters. More than half of our graduates have had an international experience of mobility, which is a very high number. For us, it's very important to have this number. And we have 800 agreements with 57 universities around the world, so that we have, in general numbers, a balance between incoming and outgoing students, about 2,000 students coming, 2,000 students going. Also, we have another part of the international issues of the university, that is the Carlos III International School, that attract students from Asia and also from America, mainly from USA, to come and join us in our degrees or master programs, or even in special courses designed for these students to come to stay with us for a year. Well, talking about rankings, we are very well positioned in the different rankings. You can see there the numbers, very well positioned in the top 50 under 50. And also we are very well positioned in some of the areas of the World University ranking by subjects. A way to assure this quality, we have certifications in different studies. For example, we have most of our bachelor degree programs in engineering with the certification EURES, which is a European certification. And also in social sciences, we have the accreditation AMBA for the MBA program. And also we received the ECSB accreditation for the studies in business administration, accounting, finance, and marketing. And that's all. I think it's a very summarized vision of our university. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Lourdes. And without any delay, I want to introduce you to Mrs. Sara Lopez, who's the Director of International Relations at the Universitat Pompeu Fabra of Barcelona. Sara, whenever you wish.
Thank you for the introduction, Carmela, and thank you to all my preceding colleagues. It is a pleasure for us to share this moment with our Namibian partners and to explore further opportunities to collaborate. First of all, on behalf of Vice Rector Isabel Valverde, apologies. She would have loved to be here because she couldn't be in Africa. Neither it was Professor Pablo Pareja who was visiting. So apologies from her side. And let me just go through directly to the introduction presentation of Pompeu Fabra University. Let me see if I can easily share my screen. I'll try to be brief because I think that our we want to hear also from our Namibian partners. So just let me start by saying that we are a very young university. We're actually the youngest and the smallest of the Alliance for Youth Universities. We are also public with a clear international vocation and definitely research intensive. But with a very few years since we were founded in 1990, we have quickly earned our place among the best in Europe, as the rankings show. We were lucky and grateful to be awarded as Campus of Excellence as our other 3 partners in this alliance. And we are now in the very, very top positions in all rankings as a Spanish university, as young universities. We are also the first, the 10th highest ranked university in the world among those under 50. So we are very proud to have gained this privileged position in a very few years. And that is definitely thanks to our very solid and high ranked researchers and professors. This is just a snapshot of facts and figures for our university. Overall, we can say we have around 15,000, 20,000 students, depending on how we count, as you know, and because we have some affiliated centers, the schools at undergraduate level, which are more applied sciences, and we have also affiliated schools at graduate level, and these are really excellent platforms where we focus on the teaching and research of economics or management or international relations. So this is a little bit our size. And we have these we like to say that we have this 2/3 undergraduate, 1/3 postgraduate research-oriented profile. In terms of number of teaching and staff, you can see also a little bit the ratio here. And we have three campuses. One of the very particular features of Pompeu Fabra is that we are a urban university. We are really located at the heart of the city, and we have been always engaged with also the urban development of Barcelona. So we feel and we are part and contribute to the city in that regard. So we have the 3 main campuses right now. We had others previously, but as part of this contribution to renovate certain neighborhoods, to really become part of this network of the city, we kind of replaced our locations. Ciutadella campus is probably it's the biggest, our main campus, the biggest library, and the foundational studies and disciplines of Pompeu Fabra are located there, with humanities, economics and business, political sciences, and law studies. These are like the core disciplines and fields that the University Pompeu Fabra was built from. We then added other fields like the health and life sciences, which is located in another campus, just a walking distance from this one. And in this health and life sciences, it's true that it's more recent, but it is a very strong field, and we are part of this very beautiful building here, which is the Barcelona Biomedical Research Park, which is one of the highest ranked research facilities in Southern Europe that, as you know, is a hub for biomedical sciences in that regard. The other campus is Poplano campus, the newest one, and there we host communication studies, engineering and ICT, and translation and language sciences. These are all very well connected in terms of transportation. And what we are also trying is to connect those fields beyond the campus and create those interdisciplinary connections beyond these three locations, or through these three locations. And this is why one of the biggest projects right now in the last few years for us has been to have this umbrella topic, which is the planetary well-being, that is guiding, or at least it's inspiring new and existing lines of research that interconnect the disciplines that we have shown and proved to be strong. In terms of education, we share with obviously our partners this commitment for quality education. And in the last few years, we've also been reviewing our project and under this evolution. So we want to do this education evolution rather maybe that revolution. We'll see, because in this new context, maybe this, we will be needing more of a revolution. But in any case, these are the reflections about how do we approach education at Pompeu Fabra. And there's definitely an approach that wants to break the silos, just as I was referring to research with this planetary well-being umbrella topic. Also in teaching, we want to break silos. And there are these connections. Students can take courses, can develop cross competences in that regard. There are open programs where students can kind of do their own individual and personal tracks around all the offering at Pompeu Fabra. And then we have the role of the teacher accompanying these very specific personal project and all the student support and resources that needs to be adapted to this new model. In terms of research, it is not, by surprise that we have very good results in terms of research. Otherwise, we wouldn't be scoring so high in rankings. So, because, they are very, very research biased in that regard. So what Pompeu Fabra stands out for, it's really being very successful in terms of gaining competitive European funds. This has been our strategy and has proved a very successful strategy in terms of positioning, in terms of gaining European research grants, which allow us to develop new areas of research and support those that are niche areas for us to excel. These are, again, more numbers about research and results, but I think I'll just skip it, just to enter into what we believe this Partner Day will facilitate, which is more to open up a little bit wider our international map. We have a very broad international community. And that's based on the opportunities, the teaching, or the course catalog, the program catalog that we're offering. All master, well, a majority of master programs are all English taught. Research, PhD can be all done in English. So it is easy for us, this together with high profile researchers, facilitates the recruitment of international students at master and doctoral level, where around 45%, around a half of them come from other countries. What is also special about our own undergraduates is that we train them, and we really push them to become global citizens, and we provide them with huge opportunities for international mobility that they actually take advantage from. And 43% of our UPF graduates can claim to have studied abroad when they finish their studies at Pompeu Fabra. This certainly gives them a very special profile, I would say. In reciprocity, we do also receive many international students in our undergraduate degrees. And this is something we cherish because it introduces a factor of diversity in the classroom that we really want to promote as a factor of internationalization at home for those who cannot go abroad. Currently, around 22%, there's a 22% of incoming students in numbers, because percentages can also be tricky, but we are small, so we like to talk in percentages. But we receive over 2,000 international students every year, only incoming students. And this certainly kind of changes the whole campus flavor and the campus environment for us. How do we come to, to create these international and mobility flows? Definitely through very, very strong partnerships and a wide network of international agreements that we really try to be selective while providing opportunities that cover the whole world map. This is the map. Sorry, I'll just change the order. This is the map. So we are very, very present or very well connected in Europe. Obviously, we have the Latin American historical ties. We've been very, very active with North American partners, also using our study abroad program that has opened us many doors for very good agreements there. We were very active in opening Asia-Pacific relationships, and we are now together with our partners in the Alliance for Universities, also wanting to fill in the gap that we know we have in Africa. We have some connections, some research going on, but we definitely want to cover this area. We think this is strategic, and we are committed to collaborate with Africa. These are maybe some, I would say, headlines of our most innovative projects in the area of internationalization. As our previous speakers, we are also part of a European University Alliance. Ours is called Utopia. And we share it with the University of Warwick in the UK, with Brugge University in Brussels, Belgium, Cergy in Paris, Gothenburg in Sweden, and Ljubljana in Slovenia. So this is the core of our partnership, and we are definitely developing a platform where also global partners might be welcome when we have a more defined project together. We're also part of other networks. Needless to say, we're here as Alliance for Universities, Euron, where we also together with Autonomous and Carlos III, Europeum, Lewis, which is a European network of focusing on social sciences, and CASA, which is a consortium with North American universities. As I was saying, these are our maybe our strongest regions in terms of cooperation. We have a very special project with a public policy center with Johns Hopkins, and we are Center for European Studies with a Jean Monnet project. As our colleagues, we are very keen to develop also joint and double degree programs with our international partners. And we have 4 Erasmus Mundus right now, 9 double master degrees, 3 double degree programs also at undergraduate level, one with King's College, another one with the Higher School of Economics in Russia, also partner of Alliance for Universities, where we collaborate with other regions like Russia, and Toulouse Capitol in France. And Marius also mentioned their summer school. Yeah, we do have a summer school too, which is international by definition, but where also our own students can take courses so that we kind of recreate an international campus in the summer. And this is also the same model that we are applying to our study abroad program. And this is quite new. We want to change the traditional approach to bubble programs, and we want to open it up. We want international students and local students to share and to become better, more open-minded, more globally oriented by working together. So this is it. I don't want to be longer because otherwise maybe we won't like respect the schedule. So thank you so much for your attention, and very, very happy to continue sharing in the sessions afterwards.
Thank you very much, Sarah. So that is for us. I mean, we are a bit delayed as would be expected, but I can't see. Thank you very much, Professor Segovia, for all the comments you have. I have left a bit more information about what means the interaction with the A4U Alliance. So as far as I see, there are no specific questions for this part of the presentation. So let me go further down the road and introduce you to Dr. Shivoro, who is our next speaker. Sorry, yes, with next speaker, Dr. Shivoro is acting director for international relations and institutional coordinator for Erasmus Plus Mobility at the University of Namibia, UNAM. So welcome, Dr. Shivoro. Thank you very much for being here, and we are excited to listen to you about your university. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you very much, Professor Carmela, for the warm virtual welcome, and also for facilitating. And I also like to thank the previous presenters from the A4 universities for their very insightful and I think very interesting presentations about their universities. As introduced, my name is Romano Shivoro, and I'm the acting director for international relations at the University of Namibia. So those that have not visited Namibia, you'll see from the map that it is on the southern part of Africa there. And we have a population of about 2.4 million with a very large space of more than 800,000 square kilometers. The country got independent in 1990, and I think what you'll see down there is just some of the features that as the Namibians, we promote the country, such as the highest sand dunes in the world, the deepest canyon in Africa, home to all these rich rock art sites, rich wildlife, rich culture, very much stable and a democratic government. So that is basically about Namibia. You'll see on this slide, this is about the University of Namibia. We are very, very young compared to many universities in Spain. We were established in 1992. However, over a period of 20-something years, we grew to a very big university. We operate from 12 campuses across the country. You'll see from the dots from the northeast, the north central, to the south, to the west, and so forth. We currently have slightly over 32,000 students with 8 faculties. Although we are currently undergoing a restructuring, these faculties will be transformed into 4 faculties, but the departments and so forth will remain. We also have regional centers that mostly serve our distance students. We are a comprehensive university, and so far we have registered 38 doctoral degree programs, 73 master degrees, 162 bachelor honors degrees, and 10 other postgraduate qualifications. That would be postgraduate diplomas and postgraduate certificates in different fields. This is a video about our campuses, but because of time, I'll skip it. I'll go directly to the faculties and schools. We have the Faculty of Agriculture and Natural Resources that really covers things like crop science, animal science, veterinary medicine, and so forth, and also fisheries and aquatic sciences. And we have the Faculty of Economic and Management Sciences, more about your commerce faculty with the School of Accounting, you have finance, you have business administration, and so forth. Then we have the Faculty of Education that mostly covers teacher education in the country, and of course our Faculty of Engineering that have different departments such as mining engineering, electrical engineering, civil engineering, mechanical, and so forth. The two schools that I've put in there, these are the proposed schools of the faculty. The School of Marine Systems Engineering. Namibia has a coastal length of about 2,000 kilometers, very rich resources in the ocean, and therefore this school is supposed to build capacity for Namibians and Africa in general in this area. And of course, a School of Architecture and urban planning. The other faculties, we have the Faculty of Health Sciences, we have School of Medicine, Pharmacy, Dentistry, Nursing, Public Health, the Faculty of Humanities and Social Sciences, where we have our sociologies and human sciences, we have social work and languages as well. We have a Faculty of Law, and we have the Faculty of Science, with a School of Computing and School of Military Science, but the faculty also has departments such as Biological Sciences, Department of Mathematics, Departments of Statistics and Population Studies, and other departments. I also want to present our Center for Open and Distance Learning, a center that we've established about 7 years ago, and our virtual environment, meaning that we serve almost 7,000 students of the university purely online or distance. And we have a system in place that is very well functioning, as we have integrated different applications such as the e-portfolios, the panopto lecturing, the plagiarism detectors, the live lecturers, and the Zoom on the portfolio that our academics are using to impart this. And there's also a platform that we have been using now during the time of COVID, that all our academic activities went online. So therefore, it was very easy for us to transition to this platform. In terms of research and innovation, we have the following centers. This is a multidisciplinary research center, the Semnyuma Marine Resources Research Center, Center for Innovation and Development, and Center for Research and Publication. I'll just quickly run over to this framework, that whatever we do at the university in terms of research, it is guided by this framework that really looks at the priority research areas of the university, and then into capacity building, looks into funding, and also looks at the commercialization of these innovation products. Now, our multidisciplinary research center, they look at the following departments: life science, that covers biodiversity, ecology, the ecosystems, disaster risk management, and social ecological systems, while our science and technology department looks at renewable energy technology, drug discovery and development, indigenous knowledge systems. And we have a very strong component of malaria research due to our geographical location, especially the northern part and northeastern part of the country, where the incidence of malaria or the prevalence of malaria is pretty high. So in terms of Southern Africa, we are hosting the research team that is looking into this malaria elimination. Our social science department looks at population dynamics, reproductive health, gender training research, land reform and resettlement, equity in health, and so forth. And we also have a special initiative on zero emission that is looking into the mushroom cultivation for poverty eradication. In terms of mushroom, these are just some of the products that the team has come up with, such as the Ganoderma, that a supplement in many ways, and also aids for cancer patients. Our Marine Resources Research Center looks at the aquaculture research, the geochemistry, fish and fisheries, the alga research, coastal desert agriculture, renewable energy, as well as water resources in the country. So these are some of the research projects. For example, this is a very recent project that we pulled off with one of our partner universities from Finland, University of Turku. We piloted the first solar-powered desalination plant that is providing drinking water, but it's also water for coastal agriculture. Some of the projects as well we have local producers, indigenous raw material, and we are processing them and making it into drinkable or beverages. Other projects includes still in terms of agro-processing, such as jams and yogurts and juices and stuff like that. That is from our Department of Food Science and Technology. Our engineering are looking at providing local solutions, especially we have got the open canal for water that is providing water in the largest part of the largest part of the country, and they are using, for example, this technology that they decide to weed out all these unneeded substances in the canal, such as weeds and stuff and rubbish and things like that. In terms of internationalization, over the past 4 years or so, we have recorded, let's say, over now 8,000 international students that came to the University of Namibia. They come from the 5 continents, 53 countries, of course, Africa being the largest with 10 countries represented, 10 from Asia, 13 from Europe, 3 South America, 1 North American countries. Of course, 95% African students, while 88% of these students seek undergraduate programs and 12% seek postgraduate programs. In terms of inbound student mobility, a total of 254 over the same period, that is 4 years. And in terms of country distribution, I think majority of these students come from the USA, from Finland, Germany, Japan, Netherlands, and Sweden. And but of course, then looking very much to welcome students from Spain, A4U universities in the very near future. We also have a very good representation of international staff at our university, with about 13% of our total staff are international students, of which majority of those are academic staff in the university. Some of the initiatives regarding curriculum, these are just examples to say, for example, with certain universities in other countries is able to establish programs such as Masters in Nursing Science, program in general nursing, programs in pharmacy, in medicine, in development finance, and physiotherapy. These are actual programs that we have established with partner universities. I think in terms of capacity building, and given that the university is pretty young and still really want to expand and bring in more market niche programs, these are some of the initiatives we look at in terms of internationalization. We also had some of collaborative activities for last year and this year. These are just of the highlights, some of those that I think had much a greater reach as more students or staff or more faculties participated in this. For example, a special international training program on gemology and geology design, winter and summer schools on history and archaeology with University of Basel, and seminars and workshops on quality teacher training with Bremen University and Cologne University. Of course, I've already mentioned about sea water desalination. Radio astronomy, international graduate, together with Leeds University and Oxford University. Multidisciplinary innovation hub concept building, and of course, the different programs that we have established. This is just some of the, for example, we held the first UNESCO International Summer School in Robotics, and also the FinNam Research Academy, where you have got researchers from different places around the world coming together on a specific theme, and they have this academy or workshops and seminars with staff members or academics in Namibia. In terms of languages, of course, we do have a language center, but we were also happy to say that we have dedicated centers such as Instituto Cervantes, that is for Spanish, the Franco-Namibia Cultural Center supporting us with French, Camões, Portuguese, and Confucius Institute, mostly for Mandarin, but the language center also has local languages, indigenous languages, as well as other African languages such as Kiswahili. I just want to quickly browse on the co-authored publications per subject, and this is according to Elsevier's Scopus in terms of the high impact papers in those recognized journals. And you see that it's covered. It's quite multidisciplinary in many different areas. And I think this is actually 6 months outdated. This month, we have more publication in more areas. In terms of geographic distribution, in terms of collaborative research or publications, we currently we have collaborative research or publications with more than 1,700 institutions across the world. Here, of course, Europe being very dominant with more than 500 publications, but also a lot with the USA and with Asia, and a very large amount of those also with within Africa, especially with South Africa. In terms of co-publications with institutions in Spain, and I just want to focus on the three universities. We have, of course, 64 publications with 38 institutions in Spain currently, and 22 of those publications between our academics and those also participating academics from Autonomous University of Madrid, Autonomous University of Barcelona, and Pompeu Fabra University. And mostly these publications are in the area of astrophysics, medicine, public health, biochemistry, genetics and molecular psychology, and environmental science. But I think through these conversations, we'll probably achieve more publications in different other fields, since most of these universities are quite comprehensive universities. Now, in terms of collaborations that we are seeking, of course, we, as I said, new programs with a market niche for Southern Africa and the rest of Africa in general, innovation and commercialization of our products, community engagements around the SDGs, really to go down in the communities, student exchange, the staff exchange, course supervision of postgraduate students, joint workshops and conferences, and I think the short courses targeting different sectors of the economy, especially those latest new skills that we need to upskill, especially those that are already in employment through short courses. I think that is an area that we can really look at. This is just a picture of the team that met, one of the teams that met with the colleagues that visited UNAM on the 1st of October last year. And I'm very pleased that after this, we now have been granted an opportunity for more exchange through the Erasmus Plus funding. And I think this will really create a lot of opportunities for new collaboration coming between A4 University and the University of Namibia. And with this being said, I'd just like to thank you very much for listening to me.
Well, thank you very, very, very much for this very nice presentation of the university. I think, it's so inspiring, and I can see so many possible ways of connecting and interacting very fruitfully with you indeed. So I hope that all the hope and the other opportunities we can foresee are really a reality in the very near future. So thank you very much Dr. Shiburo. So I think we will have maybe questions at the end of the second presentation. And Professor Segovia, I can see you. Yes, here you are. So she's the Dean of the Faculty of Human Sciences at the Namibia University of Science and Technology. Welcome to this meeting. Thank you very much for being here, and you can take the floor whenever you wish. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I assume that the presentation will be loaded from the other side, or so that it can be, or just we sent in the presentation. Yes, no. Please, if it can be loaded, I'd appreciate.
Gloria, okay, here we are.
Sorry, I think you're meant to share your own presentation, because I'm not even sure I can do that myself.
Ah, okay.
No, because the presentation to have it for our records and to be able to share it for anybody who needed it later on, maybe.
All right, my apologies, because I assumed that it was for purpose of sharing. Let me just find it quickly, and then I can share it. But it might take time. Maybe let me just speak directly from here, because my assumption was that it is being shared after sending it through. But at any rate, I'm presenting on behalf of the Director of International Relations, Dr. Mario Escudero, who unfortunately is indisposed. And on his behalf too would be to extend warm greetings from the management of NAST, namely the Acting Vice Chancellor, Dr. Andrew Nikondo, Acting Deputy Vice Chancellor, Academic Affairs, Dr. Delvaline Moves, and other senior management of NAST. Essentially, the presentation that you have is a presentation from the Department of International Relations. So I'll defer to my sister institution, UNAM, for the elaborate discussion around Namibia's offerings. And basically to highlight that in the presentation that the International Relations team prepared was to share what the institution is doing around internationalization. It's ostensibly just to highlight that in terms of our program of internationalization, our main aim is to ensure that we can establish quality international education, we can establish partnerships, we can promote internationalization both on campus and in our regional centers, and also to ensure that our international partnerships in terms of agreements and partnerships with the international community are up to date and actually active, and to ensure that amongst our own staff and students, we have a very healthy international cohort. We have a target of 10% of international students amongst both our undergrad and graduate students. And we do have quite a good representation in terms of international students on the main campus in Windhoek, mainly from the African continent. But through exchange programs, we also have quite a number of students who come through. And unfortunately, because of the COVID disruptions, many of our international programs have more or less been interrupted this year. That notwithstanding, we have had the opportunity to especially expand our online and virtual education programs. And in this regard, the International Relations Department works closely with other centers and institutions at NAST, namely the Project Services Unit, which manages most of our international, especially European partnerships in terms of agreements and development of proposals. And then also our Program Development Unit, which assists us in developing programs, which will then be researched through the Namibia Qualifications Authority. Our Teaching and Learning Unit is the main engine through which our international education and virtual online learning is delivered. And then our Center for Open and Distance Learning is a center that mainly does our distance education programs. Now, in terms of institution, we have 6 faculties. The main ones, of course, I think for those colleagues who came would have been aware and met most of these, but we have 6 faculties: the Faculty of Computer Informatics, the Faculty of Engineering, the Faculty of Health and Applied Sciences, the Faculty of Human Sciences, of which I'm heading, the Faculty of Management Sciences, and then the Faculty of Natural Resources and Spatial Sciences. Across these faculties are a number of, I'd say, excellent research programs and projects which are currently ongoing with international partners. In the main, perhaps I could highlight some of those that are perhaps well known in this regard. With the Faculty of Management Sciences, you'll be aware we have a hotel school, which is probably one of the most important in terms of training in Namibia in respect to the hospitality and tourism industry. We also have the Harry Pukovitz Graduate School of Business, which covers most of our postgraduate education in the area of business studies and related fields. The two largest in terms of enrollment faculties are the Faculty of Human Sciences and the Faculty of Management Sciences. That notwithstanding, the other faculties, although smaller, offer very interesting and excellent programs. Faculty of Computer Informatics, for example, is well renowned for its informatics programs and the technology-driven education that they will do in especially research in the area of community-based technology development. And we have a number of centers and institutes. The Faculty of Natural Resources and Spatial Sciences houses the Institute for Land Management, which is at the core and forefront of working with communities in areas of urban sustainability and urban livelihoods, including the issue of looking at how we can empower communities, especially those who are living in formal settlements. In terms of research programs, I think the main areas that I think may or are already in conversations with colleagues already online of maybe of interest and maybe also areas for future expansion are in areas such as tourism development. As you know, our tourism area has been one of the biggest areas in Namibia for development. And unfortunately, with the impact of national and global lockdowns, this has suffered. So we do need to look innovatively at how we can expand beyond the current models of tourism in Namibia. And I think from my viewpoint, especially to see how we can harness technology and especially looking at young people participating to ensure that they can come on board and be drivers of future tourism ventures. We also, through our natural resources faculty, have a lot of research currently ongoing, especially looking at fragile and vulnerable landscapes and environments. And so in terms of ecosystems research, there's plenty of opportunities in this regard, which can be driven. I think my colleague at UNAM has already highlighted the opportunity for marine studies and research. And I believe we also at NAST have, with our new campus, the Luderitz campus, have opportunities for expanding research in terms of marine studies and other related fields. I think for me, the main point that I can highlight in terms of future opportunities is the opportunity for harnessing the current, I'd say, growth opportunity that is not only in Namibia, but is in the SADC region and the continent. There is, as you know, the continental platform for, oh, thank you very much for that. They can just scroll forward in terms of just sharing that presentation from the international relations team. So in terms of growth, I was saying that we as a country are looking at industrialization and especially looking at international relations as our key driver in terms of industrialization. So what we call maybe science diplomacy in terms of advancing growth at national level. We should be able to develop those partnerships which can help develop those projects, especially industrialization projects that can help not only enhance community and livelihoods at a community level, but also drive business development, especially entrepreneurship. And through that, we can innovate in terms of solving some of the key development challenges. In this regard, I believe the Trans-Kalahari project, which is enabling access communication across Southern Africa, linking Walvis Bay through to Beira through the landlocked countries, Botswana and Zimbabwe are key to highlight. Likewise, in terms of expanding our opportunities in education, looking at how we can harness our SADC education protocol to expand international higher education across the various countries in partnership with our international partners. And I think beyond that, looking at how we can perhaps even include areas of exchange in terms of not only knowledge exchange and knowledge transfer, but exchange with communities in terms of research. And one can highlight here some of the challenges that are emerging. As you're aware, currently we're facing challenges with locust invasions and other environmental challenges. So in respect of innovative new research, I believe young scientists will be excited to see how they can apply that technological know-how in solving some of the current crises that we're facing. I think in that respect, I can say that NAST has a lot to offer, especially in terms of international education. Currently, I would say the constraint that we face in terms of physical mobility should not be a deterrent in terms of developing and strengthening partnerships. I think we have an opportunity in terms of virtual learning campuses, which we are already exploring in this regard with our other partners. We're developing joint campuses at this very moment with our partner university in Germany, Flensburg University, which is also looking at drawing on their own partnerships. So we are benchmarking how we can expand opportunities for undergrad and graduate students in respect of international education in that respect. Likewise, for our faculty, many of our students and staff who end up going into postgrad studies would normally have been exploring local or South Africa-based institutions. I think with the COVID impacted landscape, we have a chance to look at how we can perhaps explore and re-innovate our global education programs, especially in terms of joint and double degrees, to ensure that our students can take hybrid models of learning to continue with our postgrad studies, especially for staff who would then not be able to take or leave. So they can travel brief, you could say block travel, or really most of their work could be through virtual learning opportunities. I think in conclusion, if you can just go to the conclusion of this slides, which is a conclusion from the INR presentation. Just go to, yes, I can just highlight there, as you can see, the bulk of our partnerships are really continental, and it will be good to expand our footprint in terms of partnerships beyond the continent into other areas. But currently, because we are discussing with Spain, I'd say I'm very, very excited because some of the fields that are being proposed in terms of study are really, I think, critical and core to our program offers at NAST. As you know, we are at University of Science and Technology, and our strategic plan in the next 5 years, we're looking at leveraging technology to grow both our, I'd say, impact in terms of applied research, but also in terms of ensuring that we infuse the idea of innovation, especially in the fourth industrial revolution, technologically driven era, so that our students are not only employable, but also have the kinds of skills that can place them an advantage for the future. I think coming maybe to speak more to my own field, which I will then come back to later in the breakaway sessions. As an archaeologist by training, I feel that there's so much in the area of heritage and cultural studies and exchange programs that we can harness, especially for Namibia. As you know, the country is extremely rich in terms of its archaeological heritage landscapes. And I think it will be important in terms of exploring what kinds of new partnerships and transdisciplinary studies we could be looking at. And as I know, Spain also has a very rich archaeological heritage, which we can then collaborate on. Similarly, in the area of language technologies, we do have a very vibrant language studies program. And with our partnerships with the Faculty of Computer Informatics, we're looking at expanding language education and language technologies, especially also to harness how we can engage and involve communities to be more active research partners in this regard. And I think with that, I'd like to highlight some of the projects that are being done by the Faculty of Natural Resources and Special Sciences, where they are also working with communities in remote areas in the Kunene region. And I think this speaks much to the SDGs in terms of how do we empower communities to be better actors in terms of changing their livelihoods and ensuring that they can take part meaningfully in science and research development. And I think in that regard, being partners in terms of language education, in terms of using research technologies and methodologies that empower communities will be great in this respect. And I think not leaving out any other of our faculties, the faculties of health and applied sciences, in terms of its work in the area of emergency medicine and public health. I think this is also a critical area where we can share lessons, especially in terms of post-COVID recovery plans. I know that as a country, we share that aspect in terms of the need to expand emergency medicine education, especially in terms of Namibia as a big country with a small population, hard to reach groups, hard to reach areas. It will be good to ensure that we can see how we can enhance our efficiencies in terms of education and research. I think it's especially because we are in a very, I'd say, depressed financial climate right now, and it will be very difficult in the next 2 years in terms of outlook to see our resource base improving. But with smart partnerships, we can be able to optimize in terms of how we can leverage global education, target excellence, deliver quality, but still be able to have, I think, the kind of reach and impact for communities that really make a difference in communities' lives. Thank you very much, and I look forward perhaps a Q&A to and augment anything I might have left out. There's a concluding slide really just highlighting some of the work that the International Partnerships Office is doing at NAS. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Professor Sigobier. I don't know whether I pronounce okay your name, but
you can just call me Alina. It's fine.
Okay,
my first name is.
That's great, Alina. Thank you very much indeed. So it's been very interesting to hear from your university, and I think it's the time. I can't see any questions, specific questions. So I think that the development will be much more in the breakout room. So I remind you there will be one of engineering and technologies, humanities and social science will be the other one. Internationalization. We will have medicine, sciences, and veterinary. But at this time, I must apologize, and I have to say goodbye at this moment. Although I will remain for a few minutes, but I won't be able to listen at the end of the next presentation by Dr. Olga Bilova about the Erasmus Plus K107 project. So thank you very much. But I have to record a video presentation for international students. So I will be taken from very shortly onwards. Thank you so much for being here. I leave you in good hands of my colleagues, and of course Matilde will be around to representing our Autonomous University of Madrid. So thank you very much to all the attendants, and I am sure that this relation is going to be very strong and very fruitful, and I hope to be able to go to Namibia because I missed that fantastic trip. So thank you so much, and Olga, whenever you want, please.
Thank you very much, Carmela, for introduction for the introduction, and thank you all the previous presenters for their really interesting information. Let me share my slides. Okay. So my name is Olga Bilova. I look after international projects at A4U, and in this presentation, I'd like to talk about our cooperation under Erasmus Plus program, which hopefully will provide the tools and the financial support to all those wonderful initiatives that, you know, possibly will flourish from these encounters. So first of all, what exactly are we talking about here? Erasmus program is a large program and it has different lines of funding. And the one that is of interest to us here is called Action KA107 in its technical jargon. It also means, it has several names. So technically speaking, it's got this code, but in practical terms, it means really an extension of Erasmus program, a traditional Erasmus student exchange program to non-European countries. This has happened, this program was introduced in 2015, so it's relatively young, but it's proved to be very popular with European institutions and their partners. And I'll refer to it throughout the presentation as International Credit Mobility Program, or ICM, because what lies at the heart of this program really is the recognition of credits that were taken by students during their time abroad by the home institution. This is the primary objective, to make sure that what they have studied is actually recognized towards their degree. Who can take part in this program? Students, bachelor, master, and doctoral students. In our case, in case of Namibia, we'll be talking about exchange of doctoral students and staff teaching for teaching or training or both, and also admin staff for training. The applications for these funds so far have been made every year. Alliance has participated in this program since its very beginning in 2015. We have been successful so far and have been awarded grants every year for a number of countries. Now, next year, this program, this particular action will be put on hold, so we won't be able to apply for funding, but hopefully it will come back on track in 2022. And we are still waiting to hear how it will happen, because the new Erasmus program, the new financial, let's say, period will start next year. And so as soon as the guide is out, we'll be able to have more information about it. So hopefully this is just the beginning of a next new start. Okay, this map is there to give you an idea of the regions in which we have been cooperating in ICM program as the Alliance. We have started in 2015 with 2 countries, Russia and South Africa. Russia, my home country. And we have maintained this throughout the years, adding over time countries in the Southeast region and in Central Asia. So we're talking about Iran, India, Indonesia, Vietnam, Thailand, and Malaysia. And the number of mobilities that you can see under each label is a sum of the participants that have moved between Spain and this country since 2015, plus the awards that have been given this year. And this year, we are lucky to have Namibia and Botswana on board. We are very looking forward to working together. We have received 10 mobilities for each country. So there's room for play. Okay, but ICM is not actually the only program under which A4U has cooperated with Africa. There is a good precedent that was set a few years ago through a capacity building project in renewable energies that was that arose out of A4U institutional visit to South Africa in 2012, and then was taken on by all 4 universities, by Stellenbosch University, and then partners from Botswana and Namibia, University of Botswana and Namibia University of Science and Technologies have joined us. This project focused on the development of a master program in sustainable energy systems. This program is still active and running. In fact, well, I've spoken to the coordinator of this program, who is based at the Universitat Autònoma de Barcelona. This university has coordinated the whole project. And he confirmed that indeed last year he went to teach to Namibia, and other colleagues from other A4U universities have done so as well. So it's good to see that this program is alive and kicking and going. And I actually saw some participants of this project on the list of today's events participants. So it's nice to see the continuity here and the interest being alive and, you know, continuing. This project set a good example, a precedent of interaction of academics from different fields: engineering, energy systems, social ecological systems, and so on. And just to add here that at NAST, the department that was closely involved in the delivery and development of this program is the Department of Computer and Electrical Engineering, and I actually think the representatives of the department are also here today. Okay, moving on to the current ICM project. This is just an outline of who is participating and of the basic grant conditions. As you can see, we have there is space for mobility on doctoral level, both in and out, and for staff as well. The duration of doctoral stays can be from 3 to 5 months. The duration of staff mobility is 5 days plus 2 days for travel, and you have subsistence grants outlined per month for students and per day for staff, and the travel grant that is equal for everyone because the distance traveled is the same. We'll soon start drafting the call for applications, which we expect to be out in December. So applications can be received from December to March, which we hope it's enough time for them to be prepared. And this event today is particularly important. The timing is very good because it allows hopefully it will allow the academics to get in touch, to see potential interest, and therefore have enough time to prepare their proposals. The call will be open to all subject fields, and there'll be open competition, meaning that there isn't a previous allocation of grants to any particular partner university. So all Spanish universities will compete for the grants that are available to go from Spain to Namibia and vice versa. The 2 Namibian partners will be able to compete for the grants for the other side. Okay, just an outline of the application and selection process. All candidates, both in and out, will be able to apply through our website through an online application form. Attaching the process is quite simple. You fill in the form, you provide the application documents, which are CV, the outline of activities, a plan of what will be carried out during the stay. And this has to be accepted previously, prior to the application, by the host institution. So the contact between the person who wants to go and the person who will accept or host this mobility will have to be made beforehand to make sure that if this person is selected, then there is agreement on both sides that there is that this is actually going to happen. And for PhD students, a recommendation letter is also required. So once the applications are received and the eligibility is verified, they go to the selection committee, which consists of the 4 vice rectors for international relations, that most of them present today, and who select who do the selection on the basis of selection criteria that you have here. Now, the selection criteria, as well as the detailed outline of the application process and other relevant information, will be available in the call for applications. For us, it's quite an extensive document, quite detailed. So once it's ready and posted on the website, I'll be in touch with all the partner universities to inform them about this. And you know, if there is any questions, we can always just talk directly about it. And then on our website, we provide supporting documentation for those who want to apply. We have detailed applicants' guides for both doctoral students and staff. And it's a document that explains what to do, how to prepare an application, where to start, how to look for a host, what are the steps to take, what are the documents to fill in. So it's already available on our website. I'll show you the web page later. And it will be updated this year, a little later this year, but last year's documentation is there, so you can check it. Okay, so what role do partner universities play in managing these mobilities? Since we are quite a few here, 6 universities and the consortium, we have created, for the convenience of all, to make sure that we are all on the same page, we have created a protocol which outlines who is doing what and when. And this is just a glimpse, snapshot of the timeline, you know, what is happening at this moment and what are the responsibilities of the partner universities involved. I have shared this document when contacting Namibian universities and informing them of the results of the Erasmus Award. So if needed, I can share it again with those who you know, will be closely involved in the management of mobilities, but this is a very technical document, self-explanatory, quite schematic, so it's quite easy to follow. And if we zoom out of this protocol and see a little bit the big picture, then we can see that the responsibilities of the partner universities, Spanish And in the other countries are pretty much the same. They boil down to sharing information, supporting applicants, receiving participants, documenting mobilities, like issuing certificates. I mean, all these technicalities, we'll talk about this directly, while the consortium takes care of the whole project, starting from application and going through budget control, making sure that each phase is implemented in a coordinated way, and reporting back to the Spanish National Agency, which manages Erasmus Plus funds on behalf of the European Commission. And within A4U, just for you to know who is actually involved in the management of our ICM programs, we have vice rectors, the 4 vice rectors who you met, that form part of the selection committee. We have the directors of international relations offices, as well as managers of ICM projects at each A4U university. And I provide support. So together we meet regularly, several times a year, to make sure that the projects are monitored, the selection is happening, you know, the results are posted, to make sure that the project is actually implemented. Okay, what's next? And here I would like just to highlight the most important, say, tasks that the partner universities will be involved in. The first one is the sharing of the call within your universities when it's available, making sure that all those who could be potentially interested have this information. And after the mobility is implemented, giving the opportunity to mobility participants to share their experiences, to share any tangible mobility outcomes, let's say a paper, a publication, and so on, so that the impact doesn't just affect only the person, but also can be beneficial to the rest of the university community. On our website at A4U, we have created a repository, a collection of Erasmus success stories, which is like a little storybook where I'll show you briefly. Let's see if, yeah. So here we have Erasmus Plus stories by category of bachelor master students, PhD students, and staff. So if you say go to PhD students, behind each photograph, you have a story of a person who decided, or who we invited and who agreed to share their best moments, their worst moments, what they've learned, and how this mobility affected their professional and personal development. So it can be an interesting read for future applicants, for new partner universities, just to, you know, let me just go behind this one. It's actually, this is a student from South Africa, from Witwatersrand University. So hopefully soon, in some time, we'll have also stories from Namibian students and staff on our webpage. And while we are here, I'd like just to show you, this is the basic structure of our website. And this section, Erasmus Plus grants, is where we have all the information that you need to know related to this program. So we have mobility grants, which is the main page, previous calls, which is information about previous projects, and the stories. So if you go to the first option, mobility grants, here is where we have all the information, applicants' guides, documents, forms to fill.
Olga, excuse me, you cannot see anything on the screen. Yeah. Could you please check it out?
You cannot see the screen?
No, there's nothing on the screen.
It's black.
Okay, let me go back to the presentation then. Okay. Can you see it now?
Yeah.
Now okay. So, well, at least I hope you saw some of the websites, so you know where to find the information, and I'll give you the link later. Another important aspect of the partner university involvement is support for mobility participants. Before the mobility, helping interested applicants find a host. So doctoral students will be looking for a academic supervisor of their thesis, and staff will be looking for those who will be interested in hosting their mobility. There will be an agreement that needs to be signed, and during their stay they need support, such as making sure that the person is integrated in this university life as much as possible, and well, given the circumstances, COVID circumstances, as much as it allows. Also, I wanted to let you know that we welcome applications from people from disadvantaged backgrounds, which can mean physical disability, economic difficulties, geographical obstacles. It will need to be documented by the partner universities, but we do have experience of hosting. Universidad Carlos III de Madrid hosted last year a blind doctoral student from Iran and provided all the support that was needed, and the mobility went very well, and the student made most of her time in Madrid. So we do have experience in this, and it's possible, and in fact it's welcomed by the program, because inclusivity is one of the priorities of Erasmus+. We also have in South Africa a person who acts as a facilitator for our ICM projects. It's a Spanish academic who works full-time at the University of Cape Town, and he has a very useful role as a bridge between the Spanish side and the South African side, because being Spanish, he knows the reality of the university life in Spain, of what things are like here, and at the same time, he is 100% based in South Africa, so he is able to help in terms of, in case of doubts or questions, both practical and academic, those who need it. So it would be great if at some point we could have similar support in Namibia. And we also try to help our applicants as much as possible with visas, which can be often a sticking point in organizing travel. So once we know who is selected, we share this list with the Spanish embassy in the country to make sure that they already know what to expect when the application for visa comes through. And finally, but not least importantly, the mobility has to be recognized by the sending institution. This is a commitment that the home university makes when signing Erasmus Plus documents. So the doctoral stay has to count towards the PhD degree, and the staff recognition also has to take place, even if it can take a less tangible and less immediate form. It can be, for example, demonstrated through how the mobility impacted the researcher's profile. How, for example, perhaps we can talk about ability to develop and deliver customized teaching, to increase one's international exposure, to improve intercultural competencies, and for example, the ability to attract funds at zero cost for the home institution. So here, the individual as well can demonstrate how the mobility has positively affected their professional, let's say, profile. And this is my final slide. ICM didn't stop during COVID. There was a very clear message from the European Commission that despite all the difficulties, the program continues. They have adapted to the situation. So mobilities can now be physical, take place on site, online, or in blended mode. We have to bear in mind that the grant can only be paid if there is on-site mobility, because otherwise, if travel doesn't happen, you know, the expenses were not incurred. The good news for our project is that mobilities can be carried out until July 2023. So hopefully, in the next 3 years, things will improve and the pandemic will be over, and things will only go better. So when we will reach the stage of having selected the participants, they will be able to carry out their mobilities. But in the meantime, while we can provide all the support that's possible to participants, we still advise them to please make bookings that are reimbursable, so that if travel is cancelled, if there are some, you know, the situation is so unstable, at least, you know, we don't have financial losses on the personal side of the participants. And this is all from me. thank you very much for listening. Here are my contact details. This is the email address and the website of the page. Oh, sorry, the web address of the page that I showed earlier. And we can follow up on this and other topics in case there are no questions right now, we can follow this up in the session on internationalization, which I'll be moderating in a little while. Thank you.
Thank you, Olga, and thank you all panelists for your wonderful presentations. We're running a little bit behind schedule, but nonetheless, we will allow for a 10-minute break. Well, approximately at 12:10, 12:15, well, 12:10 is pretty much now, but in about 5 minutes then, let's say, we'll proceed to allocate the participants to the theme sessions of their choice. And whomever hasn't registered to any theme session in particular, welcome to stay and enjoy a wonderful, a virtual coffee break in the general room, and ask for any ad hoc sessions if they like, if they have heard something interesting, or ask to be joined at any of the theme sessions that are going on that will start shortly. We also remind you that at the end of each theme session, if there are any participants who want to have a face-to-face meeting, they can do so by going back, either asking their co-hosts at their theme sessions, and they will tell us, or they can go back to the main room, to the general room, coffee break or coffee room, and ask for that to the ad hoc session manager, which is me. So anyway, on behalf of the Alliance as well, thank you for those who are not staying, and thank you for having participated so far in this wonderful virtual Namibian Partners Day. Thank you.